Innovative content. Global audience.
trendybeats.com.
Kaon Kanye. Ayo. 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 Kanye.
Yes, so I think it's a good place to just give this song a break because we want to continue. We're not stopping song today, but we just have to do what we have to do. Okay, we have to show your culture, our culture. Then we talk about people's culture and also what they do in their culture. Okay, my name is Maryval Eze. I'm reaching live from SRTV studio here in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory. And today we're talking about your culture. And I have with me Igbo guest, Igbo guest on the show. Okay, can you introduce your lectures?
Well,
Yes.
Kenneth, Odinakachukwu, Paul, onye nke ụbọchị ọma iwu nze. Ana m asị unu ọ dịrị na mmanụ ụbọchị nke taa. Ọ gazie Ise means I agree. Let it be like that.
Talking about culture has to do with the way of life of people, their culture, their occupation, the food they eat, I think, or the music, the kind of dance too, because right now we're actually dancing to his honor, and not everybody understand this kind of song. So it has to do with the culture thing. And these are all we talk about today. And today we're actually talking about the Isiala Mbano in Imo State. We heard about the Isiala Mbano. This is a popular place, right? So what do they do? What are their do's and the don'ts? What's that thing that is so unique about the Isiala Mbano? And that is why we have our Igbo man here today to tell us all the things we need to know about Isiala Mbano. And I think we're actually going to enjoy this culture. But first of all, let me ask you, when you hear the word culture, what comes to your mind?
I think just like the dictionary will say, is a way of people's life. But I think it's bigger than the way of people's life. Culture is actually the people, because without a way of life, there is no you're not a person. So culture takes our food, our clothing, our way of relating with other human beings, other people, the way we see the world. Because I think there's a perspective to culture too. Your culture most times also determines the way you see things. Because if me as an Mbano boy, there are things I will see outside. I'll be like, he's in my sight. He's not how I look at it.
That comes to the question I want to ask you right now. The thing is, you love your culture, right? And I love mine. Also, do any other person out there seem to love their culture? Now, I want to ask you this question. Do you think anybody or any culture is better than the other or superior over the other? Or you feel like every culture has to be respected?
Well, truthfully, everybody is right in their way of life, as far as you don't negate the fundamentals of human life, which is that human life is sacrosanct, that everybody has a right to live, a right to go for the daily bread, a right to aspire for whatever they wish to be, also a right to be respected and also to respect others equally. So I don't think any culture is superior. But I think every culture is unique and every culture deserves the utmost respect of any other person.
You're right. Every culture should be respected. And that is what we do today. And one interesting thing about the show is it makes you to know about people's culture. uniqueness of people's culture, and everything that they do in that culture. Because I think we normally hear about people, different states in the country. We are in the country where we have like 36 states with different culture, ethnic groups, and all of that. But on the show, we tend to know more about these cultures, and at the end of the day, you see that this is kind of meal they eat in this culture, their pattern of dressing, you understand, the do's and the don'ts, their marriages. How is the marriage? Kind of, is it something that I can do? Is it something I cannot do? There are a lot of consequences when you getting married to this particular place. You get, but first of all, can you tell us the history, the things we need to know about Isiala Mbano?
Well, thank you, Mary. You see, when they say Isiala Mbano, Isiala Mbano is not just Isiala Mbano, it's actually Mbano. Mbano people, we are a culture on our own. Isiala Mbano is just a part of Mbano because we have the Isiala Mbano, we also have the Hime Mbano. So, Isiala Mbano is more of Mbano, we are Mbano. So, when you say the Mbano, Mbano is actually a tribe in Imo State. We are predominantly Christian, and of course, we have also the traditional worship, which is the worship of our forefathers and ancestors. Even those that are Christians also participate in that. We are, I would say an agrarian society, but we farm, we produce a lot of produce. We have our products, especially the palm oil, is what we pride ourselves in.
So let me say the Mbano people, they're not the commercial people. Do you know what I'm asking? Because when I actually talked about the Inewi culture in Anambra State, I've never seen the culture that's telling me they don't farm. Most of the things they do is the automobile stuff, you get business and all of that. So now you can see that this Mbano people, they farm, they are great farmers. They are not businessmen and women. Not like they don't have people that do business there.
We also do business. I think if you go to River State, Mbano is actually one of the few people you can say that we're able to have a community of their own in River State.
Really?
People, yeah, it's called Mbano Camp. If you go to Bibo, there's a popular place called Mbano Camp. So that is the houses you see there, the people that stay there in hundreds of thousands are Mbano people. Because our people migrated to that place in the days of going to what we call Ugocha, which of course is now the Port Harcourt and the River State as it may be. So Mbano is a very, very, very traditional society. We have our masquerade, we have our New Year festival, we have our age grade festival, we have our customs, our traditions, they do, they don't, very, very strict in those things. So yeah, we are one just a people or rather a tribe in Imo State, but we are unique. We have our way, we have our way we live our life, and every other culture has come to identify that and also to accept that with us. Yeah.
Okay, I think I love that. Okay, I was talking about your farm produce. What kind of thing do you produce in your farm?
Well, but not really. We are not so much of farmers. Not because we don't farm, we also farm very well, but because our land over the years is not as fertile as it would be for farming. Because we plant, we do a lot of palm oil production.
Oil.
Yeah, and anybody that is very well versed in palm oil or whatever is involved in it will tell you that if you're planting palm oil, like any community where you have a lot of palm trees, the stem from the palm trees, it brings out what we call aquarala. It's just like you're having a lot of by root, just little kind of root that comes like cobwebs cover the ground. So
Is it like
under the soil. So
Okay.
that thing alone makes it very difficult for plants to, get the required nutrients to spread their roots under there. So it affects the things we plant. But of course, normally we plant our cassava. We eat apple a lot. Any Mbano man,
Apple, we should kind of soup. Tell us.
even our apple, we don't even call it apple. We say otara apple because for us we mix the apple with cocoyam. We don't just eat the conventional apple. Everybody we mix it with cocoyam, which is also a very, very, very integral part of our culture. We even have what we say edeji. Yeah,
What's
ezeji.
that one? How is that one?
Ezeji. Ezeji means it's a title.
Okay.
When they say you ezeji or ezonono, it means like you have planted a lot of yam and they needed to make you give you a title that in fact you're the king of yam.
But what
Also
people
the
like
king
is
of
cassava
cocoyam.
nice, akuna, right?
Yes,
So
but
people should give the energy to cassava people, not yam people.
Yeah.
Did you tell me about yam?
yes, like I said earlier, you
Mm.
see, when this SAG, it's not just about the yam alone. It's about a king or a titled man that is well versed in planting or in farming as it may be. So when you harvest those things a lot, will give you the title SG. You understand? So it's our way of life. We plant a lot, like I just mentioned. Palm oil is there. We have the oil bean. That's the okra.
Now let's talk about the upa. The upa. Tell me, like, what interesting about that upa? Like, I don't know.
Okra. Sincerely speaking, is if I had my way, is something that should be planted in a mass scale around Nigeria because I've tried.
Is it a kind of medicinal?
Yeah, it's not just is medicinal. It's also the best form of protein you can get compared to the beans. Most people eat beans and complain about the bloating stomach and purging or whatever.
Yeah,
With
you're
okra,
right.
you're out from that.
But the thing is, you know what annoying thing? That upa is just so expensive. I don't know why.
Yeah,
So that's myself.
you should tell you the value
Like,
it
so
bears. You
expensive.
should tell you the value it bears. I think a cup of beans should be around 200 naira or there, but a cup of okra you get it at 600 naira. So it tells you how expensive it is. But I think what people don't even know is the process of getting the okra, the final
How is it
product.
like?
It's not something.
So when I say
it's not
it's
something you want
really,
to
really Igbo
try.
man, it's not like maybe we're having a female here to tell us. The really Igbo man is actually giving us the process of upa.
It's not something you want to try.
Explain,
Because
let's
is it
know.
the okra? The okra has to grow,
Okay.
in its bunch. You don't climb to bring it down. It falls down at its own time. That is why in our proverbs or in our local proverbs in our side, we will say okra rumbia your time, which means when the oibi scene is okay, it will fall down. Nobody can.
So you're not kind of thing like, it's okay, let me go harvest this
No,
thing,
no,
or
you
it's
don't.
time,
You don't.
get?
You don't. In fact, in my side is a taboo. If it falls on you, because it has a very big bunch. If it falls on you and hits you, you're definitely gonna die. So it's a taboo.
Okay, is it kind of having a big bunch or
Oh,
no?
very,
Now
very,
you see,
very big bunch,
you
bigger
know,
than the
I was
pumpkin.
actually thinking the upa since it's always small, it's like this. I
Mm.
wanted to ask you that if it's falling that way, how do people pick it?
Okay, fine.
Yes.
You asked a very good
Wait till you
question.
don't pass you.
That's a very good question, actually. You see, the okra has a big bunch.
Okay.
It is there on the this thing on the tree, and when it wants to fall down, it will just if you are home, if you hear the mighty touch it goes with, they'll say okra dala. Most elders there will say okra rumeyoda. We will always use it as it's a proverb that we always keep repeating over time, and it teaches us on the long run because what you learn from our cultures also teaches you that sometimes patience is the key because it's part of our way. You tell you chitekwa no kwaurokwa mgbe ọ ga-ada. So remember that at the right time, the okra will fall down. So at the right time as a person, you calm down, things will work out. You don't need to over rush yourself. So like I always say, when it falls down, you need to carry the bunch, keep it at home. You give it time to rotten by itself. The okra you see goes
No,
through.
I see why it's so expensive.
So expensive.
Like that's a lot of process,
It's so
man.
expensive, so expensive. When it gets rotten, you now have to bring it to the water. Most times, you take it to the stream if it's in so much large quantity. You know it in your your wheelbarrow or whatever. Transfer to the stream. You wash it. Washing it means you putting it in a basket. You take sand, normal sand you have, pour inside it. You use your leg to mash on it. You're washing it. You're washing
I
it.
think you feel
Because-
like as if you're making oil, right?
In fact, it's more complicated than oil because you have this slimy kind of sticky substance that goes with it. Very smelly. It smells a lot and it's slimy and it's a gory sight actually. You have to wash it and wash it until everything is clean. Now when it's clean, you're not even having the okra yet. You need to still take it home. You have to do a kind of boil it a little and then use either a bottle or a kind of stick. You have to mash it.
Have
and
you
mash
done
it.
this yourself? Like,
Yeah,
or
sure.
you just see people do it and you
No,
learn
no, no.
from it?
If I'm seeing people do it, then I cannot describe it in this way. Growing up, my dad used to take us home a lot, and that has been a part of me. I can't imagine any Xmas I've not been in the village as an adult, and as a kid, I can't remember any time we had a long vacation. And once the school closes, my dad would just be like, take them to the villa, we drop you, and once you're there, you immerse yourself in the culture.
I think it has really
and
helped.
everything. Yeah,
Really
it
helped.
helps. So that is okra for you.
Okay. So now let's go down to the marriage part. Let's talk about your marriage, the Mbano people, right?
Mm.
So how's the traditional marriage like? Is it kind of so expensive? Are you guys chasing your suitors away? You get, or is it a kind of something that is accessible for anybody that want to get married to? Anybody from Mbano, a lady from Mbano. Tell us about it because we have this perception in our head. You understand that? Okay, anything that has to do with Imo State is so expensive. So I'm trying to know if this is actually a misconception from us because we're actually not from that place. You get, so just tell us about this marriage that has to do with Mbano. How is it, like expensive or easy?
Well, Mary, you see, if anybody says to marry an Mbano woman is expensive, the person should know that you're paying for premium quality. Uh,
He's actually supporting them. Oh.
well,
Hey, okay, tell
I'm not
us.
supporting, but I'm telling you for a fact. Um, 85%, if not 90% of marriages with Mbano women has given, good results. Mostly because we have industrious, self-starters. We have women who are ready to stand on their own with minimal support, even from the husband. Who are ready to stay in the marriage. Who are ready to build on the marriage. Who are ready to work on the marriage. So I think with Mbano we have good women, and over time our parents have come to see that what they're bringing out is the best when it comes to wife all over the country. So definitely, a good.
Is that why it is expensive? No, that's not answer my question.
I'm actually
Is
coming
that why
to
it is
that. I'm actually
expensive?
coming to that.
Hey, look at
a
this.
good-
He's just hyping. Is that why it's expensive? Let's get to know.
Our people will say, "Ahioma na-ere onwe ya."
Mhm.
You understand? Meaning, a good market will sell itself. So if it's expensive, if people think it's expensive, then that means we would have had the highest numbers of spinsters in our side. And I can tell you, if you come to my village now, in fact, most of my sisters are already married. My cousins, they're all out. Like, we don't beg people to come. So people come because they know they're getting the
we
best
normally
quality.
hear that sometimes it's kind of difficult for Imo State girls to get married because of the high rates of of their bride price. Like the bride price is just so much, the things you buy when trying to get married to them, the list and everything.
Well, you see, even His Excellency Rochas Okorocha, when he was the governor of Imo State, he had to go as far as passing a bill to that. Like I said, also there's also human factors to this kind of stuff because people know that our ladies are always in high demand. We've had some of our fathers or some communities, not just within Imo State, that try to turn this to a money making venture of some such. So what has happened over time has been we've had situations where families have decided to add something to the original marriage list. There is a marriage list in my place, and I can tell you it's not exorbitant. Like I rightly mentioned, I've had sisters who are married, I've had cousins who are married, and I can tell you that none of the in-laws can come now and say they spent so much of a humongous amount to get married to them. In fact, our bride price officially in my community, the bride price. I'm not talking about Ngongwa and Akparanwa because I got Akparanwa.
No, not even faint it. It is that Ngongo that is the problem.
I'm coming.
Because the
I'm
list
coming.
is just
I'm
okay.
coming. The bride price itself, there is no bride price in my village that is up to 10,000 naira.
But the things you buy.
The things you buy, you're not even buying it for the family of the girl. That is one thing that nobody says. You're buying it for the wife to take back to your place. So are you saying that the buckets, the clothes?
You didn't know about tea, bread, all those things.
No, Omada. No, Omada would drink
us,
tea.
oh.
Man. Omada would drink tea. Even your wife, when the woman that you marry, when she's properly married, she's also part of the Omada. You understand? It means if another person is getting married, she also come and drink the tea. Yes, I know a lot of people complain about the tea, but let me tell you, if you're coming to marry a woman and you're complaining about tea that you buy for the woman, the one-off tea you buy for them to drink and bless your marriage, then that means you're not prepared to marry. Maybe you need to reconsider where you want to marry. Maybe you go to a tribe that don't. Because our girls are well trained, university standard, in skills, they're entrepreneurs in their own way.
Intellectually,
they're sound. Is it because you want to marry a woman that you know millions have been put into training and everything? You find it difficult to make tea of 10,000 naira for a woman. If that is it, that means Ogo Wukwachionye. Because some people say Ogo Wuchionye, meaning that the in-law is also a god to the family of the person. So if you cannot even afford tea for us at the stage of getting our daughter, it means how are we sure that our daughter can even drink tea in your house? We are not saying don't marry because you don't have money or anything, but maybe the person needs to reconsider, go and save, go and prepare. Marriage is a business of money. Nobody says that, but marriage is a business of money. When there is money, love is sweeter. When there is money, marriage lasts more. Nobody wants to say that, but it is a fact. Most problems in a home start when there is no money, because at that moment, the ego will start coming out. Insecurities will start manifesting. So if you're coming to marry from Imo State, especially Mbano, Biko, don't come and start in a better in a better. You will buy things for our daughter. We're going to see the pot, we're going to see, because we don't want to entrust it with the man. When the man goes on, different stories will come. We want to see the pots she's going to cook with. We want to see the wrappers. Yes, you have to buy those things.
Is still the group that will buy?
The groom will buy. Is it not for the wife? Are they going to share it to anybody in the community? The mother of the girl will not even take one of the wrapper. It's for her daughter to be sure that if you're marrying this girl, if she's coming to an occasion with you or for a social function with you, let's be sure that you has something to wear. It's not you now marry her daughter that used to dress well as a single girl. Then when she's not married, that she's coming, that she cannot even dress like a woman. In our side, every married woman ties 2 wrappers on their waist.
Is it for a meeting or just
every social function that will determine the marriage from the singles? Okay. You tie your 2 wrappers, not one. So if you want to make sure you have
is it kind of compulsory?
Very, very compulsory. Very, very compulsory. Or else you is fine. Or else you take fine from you. You understand? Every married woman, if you're coming to a function, you tie 2 wrappers, so that even those that have taken some bottles of whatever alcoholic during the event, if they want to misbehave and they look at you, they'll say, no, this is a married woman. Please.
Yes, now that comes to the question I want to ask you. Now, talking about there's some culture where they tell you if a woman cheats on her husband, she run mad. You get, like, let me take my place for example. Once the bride price is being paid for you as a woman, from where I come from, you can't cheat on your husband again because of the law and all of that. So now let's talk about your own. Do you have anything as regards infidelity, any consequences?
Well, maybe I don't want to sound like I'm being, I would like to say it, I'm being one-sided. But the truth is, in the African context, it is a taboo. It is a taboo. You see the word I use? It's a taboo for a married woman that bride price has been paid for. No. Nobody, most people have started.
And people don't have. This is why you're trying to paint it.
It is a taboo to sleep with a married woman. It's not about my place. In Africa, as far as you're marching on the African soil, you sleep with a married woman, you are inviting doom to yourself. You are inviting doom to yourself. You cannot use that to compare to a married man anyway. Of course, a married man can decide to marry another one. You can decide to marry 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, even 8 is well within the context of
and
the
that is the problem. And that is the problem. Life. Now, as a young man, will you want to get married to more than one wife?
Well, for now, I will only say I want to get married. Yes.
Oh my God, no.
For now, I want to get married.
There's nothing like for now.
For now, I want to get
you
married.
Should know what you want.
It is when I'm in marriage that I will know if I need another one. How will I decide if I'm going to marry 2 when I don't even have one? I will have to start with 1. Then as we move ahead, you might decide to take 2. My grandfather had 4 wives, and there was never a day any of them fought. It was a peaceful home up to today.
So it means you're actually in support of this polygamy stuff.
Well, polygamy is like I said, marriage is a business of money. You don't say you want to be polygamous and you're living on a salary of whatever. You want to go and bring 2 wives. That means you are looking for trouble. Polygamy is not a way of show off in Igbo land. It is a business for the men that are well established. Do you know, Mary? You know that even in my community, when a man dies, rather, his wife is inherited by his sons. It's not because they will sleep with her. No. They can't even think of that. These are women that nurtured you, that took care of you as a baby. It means that the responsibility of taking care of those wives from your father is not on you as a first son. You can't even dream of sleeping with them because then you are stupid. But it means that all these women are now your wives. They're not just your father's wives again. They are now your wives. It means that you wake up in the morning, you think of what they're going to eat. You think of how to take care of their health. They are old women. So you see, coming that in the context of that, it's called a polygamy in the Igbo, mythology or mindset. It's not just about fun or promiscuousness. It's a way of establishing aristocracy in the Igbo culture. it is rich people in the Igbo land that marry 2 wives. Does not mean that every rich man in Igbo land has married 2 wives. So at the time, choice also matters. Upbringing also matters. Belief also matters. We have those that are Christian in their way of belief that believe that is one man, 1 wife. But at the end of the day, it's also a personal something. So if you're asking me about 2 wives, for now, as a young man, I have to get married to one.
Why you introducing this show? I talked about real Igbo man. You understand? So you're a real Igbo man.
But
You're representing the Igbo culture. So I was if you love this, the polygamy stuff, because I know most times it actually happens in the East. You see people get married to more than 1 wife. So let's know if you actually believe in that part of the Igbo culture.
Well, for me, it's not just happening in the East. I've been to the West. I can tell you that Yoruba has also married a lot.
Yeah,
I've also been to the North. The Hausas, I'm not calling out any tribe, but it's, like I said, it's a thing of choice. It's a thing of your financial level or the level you can handle. It's also a thing of individual, lifestyle and of course belief system. So for me, there is no way it is written in Mbano culture that you must marry 2 wives. Also, there is no way it is written in Mbano culture that you must marry 1 wife. But it's written in our culture that you must take care of your children. So if you're marrying 2, you're marrying 3, you're marrying 4, you're marrying 5, let the kids be well taken care of. Let your wives live well. The wives also will not, in my place, we don't believe that a woman, because you are married, all your problems is not your husband.
Most times, the reason why people find this polygamy stuff not funny is, at the end of the day, I feel like maybe if a man should get married to more than 1 wife, you should be able to know how to take care of these people in a way that you aren't showing the other person that you love. You get the other one more than the other one.
This is
but at the end of the day, you get married to another wife and you neglect the first one. This
is now a thing of romance lectures and the rest. For me, when it comes to issues of marriage and saying a man, because the reason you're not taking care of your first wife because of the second wife, maybe you need to also ask the first wife, what were you doing that made the man to have a second wife? Has everybody thought of it in that way? If the first wife was up and doing, the man would not look for another option.
Okay, this is me supporting me. Okay, viewers, still on the show, your culture, our culture. I think we have a lot to talk about the Isiala Mbano. A lot of interesting things about this culture, but we're going on a quick break. And when we come back, we'll get to talk more about this culture. Don't go anywhere, viewers. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this quick break.
Hooray! The next president show is here again. Are you aged between 18 and 30, smart, bold, and possess exceptional leadership skills? Do you have what it takes to be the next youth governor and future youth president? Then register free now at superiorradioandtelevision.com or call the number on the screen. The next President reality TV show, moving politics out of the polite drawing room into the clamor of the streets. Hooray! The next President show is here again.
Everyone, my name is Hajara Osman Muhammad. I'm the Youth Governor for Kano State, Nigeria's Center of Commerce.
Pronounced Joel Garba, the Youth Executive Governor of Kaduna State, and I am contesting for the Youth Presidents of Nigeria under the People's Liberation Party, PLP.
Between 18 and 30, smart, bold, and possess exceptional leadership skills. Do you have what it takes to be the next youth governor and future youth president? Then register free now at superiorradioandtelevision.com or call the number on the screen. Hooray! The next president show is here again. Are you aged between 18 and 30, smart, bold, and possess exceptional leadership skills? Do you have what it takes to be the next youth governor and future youth president? Then register free now at superiorradioandtelevision.com or call the number on the screen. The next President reality TV show, moving politics out of the polite drawing room into the clamor of the streets.
from that script break. We're still on the show, your culture, our culture, where we talk about people's culture, the interesting thing about their culture, and the uniqueness of their culture. Today we're talking about the Isiala Mbano, and I think our guest has been educating us a lot about their culture and the interesting thing about their culture. But before I forget, Mr. Kenneth Paul, I think I wanted to ask you this. The Isiala Mbano, we have this ofen salad, get the ofaku, and I want to know what kind of soup do the Isiala Mbano have?
Well, I think the most pronounced soup of my people will be the oha soup.
Okay, people are the ones that have the oha soup.
Yeah, we eat it very well, and it's an integral part of Isiala Mbano culture. But when we prepare it with cocoyam.
Yeah.
We use
We
cocoyam
don't
as our
do the
thickener.
normal local.
Yeah, you need to make the chicken, the soup, and we also have, the bitter leaf soup. We will prepare our own soup,
Phone.
yeah, own fonubo. We do that also with the cocoyam. My side, we don't really use ogiri
I
like
want to
most other
ask
part
you,
of Igbos
this
do.
ogiri of a thing, how is it like? How did they make this ogiri?
Ogiri actually is made from locust bean, but it's not a food for my people. We don't
Okay.
really eat it. It's not
But you
this.
can know if you want oha soup to taste very well, I think they add this ogiri
Yes,
as
that was
and
why I had to point
the
out.
ofonugu,
That's
yeah.
why I had to point out we don't put ogiri both in our ofoluba
Okay, you
and
don't
ofo.
put it.
Most people, over time, people have started to immerse different culture.
Yeah.
Also, we have intertribal marriages between Imo State and Anambra State, which of course are just a border to us. So, with that, a lot of people have started to, decide the taste buds has changed. We have wives from Anambra that got married into Mbano land. They decided to introduce the ogiri to their husband. But generally, if we're cooking for a community event, nobody puts that because it's not something everybody eats. Maybe one or two people are said to change their taste or something, but it's not for us. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Now I want to know about your masquerade. What I'm trying to know about your masquerade is,
Yeah.
sometimes there are people that will tell you the masquerade comes out just once in a year. I think they talked about the Cross River State, Bekwara, and they're telling about a masquerade that I think a woman is not supposed to see, something like that. So I want to know your masquerade, how is it like? Is it always harsh or is it cool? What time of years they come out?
Well, our masquerade actually revolves around the masquerade court itself.
Okay.
The masquerade over time, most people are trying to paint a picture of it like a diabolic kind of thing.
Where has baby sit?
Well, because most of you don't go home to the village, because if you do, or if you started at an early age, you understand that the masquerade is not something bad at all. I belong to a masquerade court in my place, and I can tell you, I've never seen us go to any shrine ever. Mark my word, any shrine ever to offer any sacrifice. What you see is just more like a kind of carnival setting. Because I've been to some carnival within Port Harcourt when I was schooling in River State. We used to go to the Port Harcourt carnival. When I see these guys dress up, there is nothing different from what we do in our masquerade. This is just costume. But to an extent, there's a bit of culture in it because before you even wear it, you need to at least recognize the forefathers who have started this, tradition before you. You need to pour libation to them, not in a shrine. Get my point now. It is not affiliated to any gods. It's not affiliated to any deity. This is just community regalia. For me, that is how I see it. It's like a community regalia. That is why you see it come. You have young children that follow it. You have adults that follow it. The only thing I don't ever see in a masquerade is women, because in our culture, women don't wear masquerades. Women don't participate
Like
in
against the
masquerade.
culture.
It's against the culture. Does not mean that they cannot watch the masquerade, but is it taboo for the women to see how the masquerade is dressing or where it's dressing, or to enter where we keep it like a kind of sacred ground where we'll drop it so that it's always safe. Most masquerade you see have a place is kept. The reason it's kept there is not because there is a juju or anything. It's because one, these are made from raffia leaves, palm leaves. You don't keep it anyhow, so that ants will not fest on it, and maybe someone puts it on tomorrow, the sun starts biting the person. So, and also so that the weather you don't have natural damage to it from weather or from water or from anything. So it has to be well kept. Like I said, I belong to one of the masquerade courts, and I know that it's always during the December time. We'll bring it out. It's not just
It's
something
like once in a year.
for us. We bring it out, but even also have others that if you have an event within the village, probably a chieftaincy title, you have one that is for people are having a marriage, you want it to come and entertain people. We have those that are for entertainment. We have those that are strictly for the age grade, because mine is like an age grade. Okay, it's for the age grade. We have bought it ourselves. We kept it over the years. I did not buy it. When I say I bought it, it's not like I bought it, but it's from our fathers who have been in that particular age grade. They buy it, and what we do is we are custodians of it. We keep it to the next generation. We hand it over to them. Even when we take it out, of course, we raise money from it. People, of course, will tip, try to appreciate what is being done, try to, spray some money, try to, invest into it. Those money, we don't take it home to enjoy ourselves. These are also money we use to take care of the old women in the village. Maybe there's a village project, maybe the electric pole has fallen down. When we do all these things, sometimes maybe we'll get good money from this. Nobody says it. Sometimes this.
Yeah, I just want to ask, what's the fun part of this masquerade stuff?
That's why it's fun. It is fun. If you have participated in it, there is nothing anybody will tell you that will make you not to participate in it. Because it's something, me personally, I look up to every December. We take it around the community, we enjoy ourselves. There are some places we'll come to, they will give you drinks. Some people will give you fowl, the local, cock, of course. Some people will give you eggs. Some people will give you nzu, which is the chalk. So these things are after the whole event. We take it back to ourselves. If it's the animals we got in, we'll cook it. Anybody that comes, whether you are an 8th grade member or not, women, even as at that time, it's not that when women will not come and enjoy with us. We give them our sisters, our little ones. They join us, we drink, we all enjoy ourselves together. The money we raise at that place, we decide what we want to do with it. Maybe there's a bad portion of the village that needs two or three trips of sand. We buy and fill it up. Maybe there's a fallen electric pole. We decide, okay, let's bring it out and use this money and do it. So it's something that bonds everybody. What I'm telling you, we have my brothers who are in London, who are in UK, who are in Scotland. I know one who is in Germany. He never misses it. He comes back for
so
that.
they come back from different
It
places.
is because it's something we have grown. Like I said, my father introduced us to the community when we were kids. So it's something we grew up doing. It's not, and there's nothing you can tell me now that you say is diabolic, is this, because I'm there. I see what happens every year. Like I said, I've never seen it taken to any shrine ever. Even the house where it's kept is just a house that the oldest man in the community will keep it with him to safeguard it, to also make sure we don't have the natural things that can eat it up or spoil it. So it's something like in our house we have the Ojono, we have the Ashaka, we have the it's called Ashaka Ashaka, we have one. This one you see them dance like it's like women, they dance. So like I said,
is there a woman that is inside?
No, these are I can't tell you what is inside. It's the gods that are inside.
No, educate us about your culture.
Definitely, you cannot expect a human being to do what those things does. He's not a human being that's inside. So I cannot tell you what is inside.
Whining.
No, you can't even whine. That's the truth. It's not a human being that is inside. If you say it's a human being, then maybe you need to go and get some for you to show them.
That's the importance of this show. Don't worry. I'll travel to that place to go see what they do for myself. So I'll come back and tell my viewers that this is what happened in this Isiala Mbano and their masquerade and all of that. Okay, there's this video of their traditional marriage. Man, I think I love the video. One interesting part of that video is I see these women cooking. It shows that togetherness, that love, and all of that. Okay, I want our viewers to see this video with me of their traditional marriage.
It's one in a million. It's all I prayed for. And I love you so much. It's my forever. Like I believe we do it together. And my prayer to single ladies and my advice to single ladies, no matter what you're passing through in your relationship, try and stick to that person and be patient. Because patience is the best thing. Forget money. Sometimes we great, we love money, but money is not the most important thing. But there are so many rich guys that are rich, but yet they are not happy. So I pray you have the spirit of understanding, tolerance, and patience.
Wow, I just wish the video never stopped playing. Like I enjoyed the video, the music, everything about this video just so interesting. I was even thinking it's just the cooking part that I enjoyed most, but man, you see that background song?
Well,
Like
I think
it's just so
it's
interesting.
nice.
I love
It's
it,
nice.
yeah.
Yeah, nice.
I think I love everything about the traditional marriage and all of that. Okay, now let's talk about you people with the Isiala Mbano people. You probably river in your place.
Well,
River.
in fact, Mbano land. There is one fact about Mbano land that everybody needs to know. Every water, every river, every stream in Mbano is coming straight from Imo River.
Okay.
We are the children of Imo. This is the water that runs through our land. Okay, just like you saw in that traditional marriage, we have this community life. Whatever that happens in Mbano, everybody's involved. You could see the women joining the cooking. You could see the men all part of it, drinking,
The thing is,
sitting down. We have that community, and I think it's because of the water.
you know, every time these people bring this caterer, you get to cook during their marriage.
It's not-
But
it's
let
not-
me be sincere, I think I love what I saw, right?
it's not- it's
This
not
one
in
looks
our
more
side.
interesting.
It's not in our side.
You
We
get?
don't. You can't. If you bring a caterer to cook for you for a traditional marriage, you're going to pay us some fine.
Are you serious?
Yes, it's part of our culture.
Wow.
Because it's expected that the women.
Okay.
That is why you
that
give them the
community
tea.
will cook.
No, most people think it's not like they wake up from the house to come and drink. It's because they will sleep over at your place. All the women, the woman have to sleep
Okay, we
over at your
sleep
place
over.
to make sure they start the cooking very early. And of course, there are some things they need to do in the night, fry some things and everything. So early morning, you have to give them morning tea. That is the genesis of that
Okay,
tea.
that tea that they.
That is the genesis. It's not like as
Because
if
they
they're
want to
coming.
come and
Yeah, it's not like as if they're coming from their
Oh.
house to come and pick tea and go home. You give them the morning tea that they drink. So it's for us. You see, marriage. You see, even the burials is a way we come together because these are the time you need your people. When you're enjoying, when you're grieving, you need your people around you because they are there. When you're seeing them, even you as a celebrant, you have this feeling that my people are
My
with
people
me,
that are with me, they
my
love me.
community is with me. So even if you have friends that are coming, they will know that we don't need you to come and do anything. Just relax. The community is okay to handle everything from carrying of the chairs to the canopies to washing plates to cooking. Everybody has a duty, from the young men to the young women to the girls to the mothers to the old men. Everybody knows what they are going to do to contribute to the success of the event. That is it. Yeah.
Oh, I think I love that. Mbano, Isiala Mbano.
Mhm.
Okay, tell us the interesting part of your culture. What do you love most about your culture?
I think for me, I don't even need to think about it. The most sweet part of my culture is the masquerade.
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah,
Like, seriously?
Is the bond, is the nitty gritty of my community. Maybe because I'm one of them. Like I said, it's not something we live for. It's not something you can say this is local people do it. You have you have a lawyer, you have baristas, you have even I have a judge that's part of our masquerade, court that comes home, he wears it sometimes when he can, dance around with it, does what he wants to do, he invites his friends to come and too. The masquerade brings us home. The masquerade is the reason why we don't want to miss our Xmas. Is the reason why we always want to. It gives you a sense of purpose in your community because when you belong to an age grade, it also makes you to know that this is your land. When you have an age grade where you belong to, you begin to think in the past that you are a custodian of your land, of your culture. You have an integrity you need to preserve. Something that the elders has been keeping, you also want to keep it. In our side, we don't tolerate criminals stealing, pilfering, picking someone's thing, looking into someone's things. We don't have any tolerance for that. If you're a young boy and participate in that, we're not even going to invite the police. We will come by ourselves. Your age will come to your house. We will catch you. We will tie you. We will flog you around the community. In fact, we'll do what even the Nigerian law cannot even think of doing to you. But we will not kill you, of course. We have sensitive for human
Just
life.
punishment.
We'll punish you in a way that if you remember it. But because of how we live, we don't even have such episodes. So if you're hungry, you don't even think of going to steal. You need to go to your brother and say, I want you to. Because if you go to the next compound, we are so together that if you go there, you don't even need to. But I go to some community and they say they might poison me. I say, is it possible for someone to poison you? So they might poison. I say, why? If I go home, if I go to my brother's place, I put my hand in the plate, we eat together. Anyway, you will live together.
That love is there.
The bond is there. So for me, I think the highest point of my community is the masquerade. For me, I know there are people who is the water because they come home to go and swim in the different rivers.
But I think that river now to the strangers is it kind of harmful?
Well, we have something that has been from the days of our fathers. Our rivers has never ever drowned any indigenous of man.
This is real.
But most times we have episodes where people that come home, friends that come home, they enter the water, something happens to them. But for us, it has never, ever, ever, even kids of 2, 3 years, 5 years taken to the stream. Sometimes you see their mother shouting, I can't find my child. Even the people in the stream will tell you, you know that the water will not take your child. And it has become, faith is the substance of sin, not sin. Faith moves mountains. So even when we've had episodes, even myself, there was a time I had an episode that was close to drowning. How I was able to wash myself ashore without even drinking out the water. I was still, even after the moment, I still went back to the water to swim again. So, like I said, we are children of Imo. We believe that we are from the Imo River. We have culture, we have tradition that involves also going to the river to make sacrifices, to make appeasement to the river goddess and everything. We worship the river to some extent. Religion has come in, Christianity has come in, and a lot of people think these are bad, but for me, this is also part of our culture. It's part of the things that moves us forward, that protects us, that does a lot of things for us because our faith is boosted through those things. So we do it proudly. I do it, and I can tell you, it's never been a bad experience for me.
Well, the thing is, Christianity has come to change a lot of things. Are you happy about that?
Well, for me, being a lawyer also introduced me to philosophy and also the origin of Christianity in Africa. If you want to go into that, you discover that Africans who, over time, forgotten about our own culture, and that also I must give you kudos, and also SRTV kudos for coming up with this culture show, because we need more people to know about our culture. There are children that think the culture is bad. There are children that don't go to the village because they think the village is somewhere they go, people will kill them. Because that is a narrative their parents has pushed to them. But if these children come home, even 1 or 2 times, I know of a family in my side that used to stay in Canada. The father and the mother never came home till when they died. The kids brought home the mom to bury. They already buried the dad before. When they brought the mom to bury, they had the experience of the village. They moved around, they swam in the waters, they interacted with their brothers. So they were not the ones asking. I thought they say people used to kill someone. I would say that maybe by now you should be
But you
dead
see,
now.
that's the problem. That's that misconception you get
Yes,
that they had about their place.
yes. So ask them. So we
So,
said
I
maybe
don't
by now
know.
you need to be dead. They said no. In fact, they started coming home. We initiated them to the age grade of their own age grade. They are part of it now. They come home often. They enjoy themselves. There's never been a time when they came home and they say someone stole my phone or someone stole my money or even someone begged you money. We don't have that time. We are industrious in our nature. We believe in working hard. Even when we suffer in our community, we will learn how to close our mouth and keep pushing to get to where you want to be. So it's part of us. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, nice. Okay, now let's talk about that particular thing. You feel like okay, it's just so rigid and not favoring everybody in the culture. Like you feel like okay, let them change this. What's that thing you feel like they should change?
Mary, truthfully, is two sides of a coin for me.
Okay.
But I will have to be point blank to you. We have the caste system in my place, the Osu, the Ime, and the freeborn. For we, the freeborns, sometimes I begin to understand the plight of those who find themselves within the Osus and Imes. Uh, is something that is generational. We're not allowed to marry. We're not allowed to marry from that other side of the people because there are stories from our fathers who told us that these people dedicated themselves to the oracle over time. And if you check, that is truth because they were once slaves or they committed an atrocity that needed to be killed or to be excommunicated, but they ran to the oracle and said, submitted themselves. So they became cast away even in their own land. Not cast away that nobody trades with them or nobody relates with them, but
So it
nobody.
doesn't mean they actually marry themselves.
Yes, they can't marry themselves. They have these are not poor people. Please. These are not what we say it is not like as
You know,
if
it
it's
is
the poorest people in the
like
community. These
me
are very
personally,
rich
if
people.
I hear that name also, I feel like okay, maybe this is why the rejected people
No,
you
no,
get.
no, no,
So
no. They are rejected in the sense that the freeborns will not marry from there, not because they don't interact with us, they don't do business with us, or they don't buy land from us, or they don't live in the land. They own lands.
and people that don't know them can actually marry them.
Well, if you normally, naturally, if you're an Igbo person, you want to marry in Imo State, the first thing your family will do is to want to go and know where the person you're getting married is coming from, to know if they are within the Osu or the May, or if it's good to marry. For me, that is traditionally,
Wrong, right?
for me, that is traditionally affiliated, and also at the same time educated and learned. Like I said, it's two sides of a coin. If you're depriving these people marriage and everything, that means you're tampering with their right to associate, their right to live, and also to be free to associate and determine who they want to be with. But of course, I've never seen anybody that wants to marry from there that the community said you cannot marry. You're only told this is the merit of it. If you're doing this, you're going against the traditions of the land. So whatever you see, take it. And most times it's not ended, in a very favorable way for most of the guys. But at the end of the day, like I said, Christianity has come in. Um, we live in an age of grace. We live in an age of abundance of God's grace, and most people have gone ahead to do that, and they have wonderful families. They have kids. They have nice homes that are still lasting, and they're living well. But for me, if there's anything I could have changed, it would have been the caste system, so that everybody is equal in the land. Even I think I should also draw your attention that even at the time we used to have segregation towards those that had twins. It was a taboo to give birth to twins. Even in my own family,
Imagine.
yeah, in my own family, my father lost two of his brothers who were twins. He always talked about it bitterly because he witnessed the birth, he witnessed the kiss, and they were taken and thrown into the evil forest, and they died there, and they never came back again. These would have been our own brothers till now. Like I said, they are my father's junior ones, so definitely we should be seeing them now and know that we have twins in the family. But that was until the missionaries came in and church was stopped in the family and in the village at large. So you see that it also means that even the Osu system can always be reversed. But like I said,
Yeah, but I think it's taking too much time.
yeah, but like I
Very
also
long.
said, the community does not say don't marry. They only tell you this is the system, this is the system. Maybe if you're doing it, nobody from the village is going to come attend it, nobody's going to consent to it, but it's not like as if because you're married from the other side, people will come and burn your house or chase you away. It just means that you two, you become excommunicated, you've joined the other community.
Yeah, it's
a thing of choice,
oh,
and
man,
whoever wants.
it's crazy. Well, we just hope soon or one day they look into this because it's not funny. Honestly, imagine if you're those people, how would you feel like? Thank you so much, Mr. Kenneth Paul, for your time on the show, for educating us and telling us all the things we need to know about the Isiala Mbano. And I must say I'm impressed and learned a lot from your culture. But before we go, or before we call the show a wrap, I just want to know some few things about your culture, like how you call some things. Like let me just say, what do they call bag? Your culture?
Well, Isiala Mbano or Mbano as a whole, we speak Igbo language.
Okay.
We only have a certain diction to it that makes it sound a bit funny.
Local.
Yeah, but the bag is still most of the things you hear in normal Igbo language is the same way it's pronounced in Mbano. We did not change anything in Igbo language, just that you have like most culture and most tribes rather in Western Africa. We have a unique way of speaking, we have a unique way of dragging our words. And in Mbano you see that a lot of things like the punctuation is a bit dragged. Maybe you're saying olo, we'll say ulum. You see?
Okay.
So maybe you're saying
But I think it's anybody from the Igbo tribe, I think should be able to understand this.
no, definitely. If you hear Igbo language,
Yeah.
even the thickest Mbano accent, you pick it up without having to struggle with it. It's Igbo language, but it's just that it has an accent to it.
Okay, so what about cloth?
Oh, Akwa.
I thought you have another
No,
local pronunciation for it.
Akwa.
So what about father?
No,
So what you want to say? I want to eat.
that's what I'm eating.
No, tell me the Mbano one.
Irikwele.
That's what I'm asking you. Now don't give me the Central Igbo stuff. Give me the
Irikwele.
Mbano, tick Mbano. Okay, thank you so much for your time on the show. I really appreciate it. Okay, viewers, this will be a good place to wrap up the show on your culture, and I believe we'll be able to learn a lot about the Isiala Mbano culture, and we're able to know the do's and the don'ts in their culture. And please don't forget to follow us on our social media page. Be there on YouTube, SRTV Television. Just click on the subscribe button, and please don't forget to leave us with your thoughts. Let's get to know what you think about SRTV. We're also there on Instagram, SRTV World, and on Twitter, SRTV World. We have a lot of amazing content to bring to you. So you just tell somebody to tell somebody to tell. So just like a chain about SRTV. And don't forget, next week I'm still coming back for this your culture show. Yeah, see you again next time, same station. I remain your girl Maryval Eze.
My name is Kenneth Odnakachipo. Thank you.
Bye.
Hooray! The next President Show is here again. Are you aged between 18 and 30, smart, bold, and possess exceptional leadership skills? Do you have what it takes to be the next youth governor and future youth president? Then register free now at superiorradioandtelevision.com.